As the community update continues down here at Murray's on Main on Thanksgiving 2022 for the annual Mr. Ed's Free Community Thanksgiving Dinner. And these are all the people that are helping put together delivery orders right now. And they have been very, very busy on this early Thursday morning, Thanksgiving 2022. A lot of people serving the food, but they've also had very many deliveries already go out already. And we hope to talk with Tina Thompson in a moment as the update continues. All right, Tina Thompson, 29th year already. This year, though, no Bob Honlo. And ironically, today, I didn't know if you know or not, ironically, today is Bob Honlo's birthday.
I was wondering, because last year I believe this fell on his birthday, or pretty close, or maybe it was a couple years ago. But yes, we did happy birthday to him a couple years ago, and it's bittersweet because I think he's been here with us almost every year.
You anticipated there'd be a lot of deliveries today, and that's staying true, isn't it?
Yeah, we've, I think we're approaching about 200 right now.
Wow. Okay, now outside of that, last year the numbers are down a little bit. I think COVID came into play. What do you anticipate today?
We're thinking we're going to land right about 500.
Okay.
So certainly encouraging everyone to come and join us in person if they're able to, but we'll send out to shut-ins as needed.
And looking around here, a lot of new volunteers. You have that every year, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Tina, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. Thanks for making a couple minutes.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Greg.
it.
Yep.
Thank you. Sheriff's Department is here.
I need 10 for them.
Load them up.
Here's your first card.
All right.
Officer, can I ask you, why is it so important for Monroe County Sheriff's Department to be a part of this today?
Why is it so important? Well, we enjoy serving our community.
Absolutely.
We're blessed to have you guys do this for us. So
What's your plan of attack here? Where are you going with the deliveries?
I'm
Any
going to take
idea?
the dispatch and our correctional officers.
Okay, back to the, going
Feed the rest
back.
of the deputies on the road.
Hey,
Yep.
thank you for what you do.
Absolutely appreciate it.
All right, Chip Thompson. Chip, your dad started this almost 30 years ago. 30 years later, it's still a huge part of Tomah, isn't it?
It is indeed. It's just great. My dad was always, especially for older people and the people that are shut in, he was always for them and wanting to do something for them. And even when he was mayor, I think he did a lot for the older community or the shut-ins. And so it's just a wonderful thing for them.
What's your role here today? What's your role?
I don't know yet. I just got here, but I'm sure I'll probably be either handing out desserts maybe or be the milk person or one of those, whatever I need to do. So.
I'll tell you one thing, right now we have spring-like weather, 50 degrees out, so maybe that's a good thing. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's pretty awesome. Pretty good for the holiday parade that's coming up anyway, so it won't be so cold for them. But
All right, I asked you this before, I'm going to ask you this again. Growing up with Ed Thompson as your dad, maybe a favorite Ed Thompson story you can share on Thanksgiving.
well, I can always just tell his story about Thanksgiving. He was sharing dog biscuits with his dog,
Correct.
and I was gone in college or something. And we were all doing something. Everyone was busy, and my dad was in between owning the teepee, so he didn't have a lot of income coming in. And him and the dog were sharing biscuits, dog biscuits. He said they're a little dry, but if we had milk, it wasn't so bad.
And this is kind of how this really all started, isn't it?
That's really how it started. Next year he was into the teepee, and he's like, I'm not going to be alone on Thanksgiving anymore, and this started. He says, I don't want anybody to feel like what he felt during that day. So.
Looking around, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of people here for the first time today, aren't they?
Yeah, I do. I just like I said, I just got here, but I do. Yeah, there's a lot of new faces, and that's a good thing. And there's always plenty of volunteers here too. So
is your sister up for this year or not?
yes, she is. She just arrived.
Okay.
So
In fact, where is she?
she would be. Oh, there's her husband David.
We'll talk to her. Okay, we'll have to talk. All right, we'll go talk to her in a moment here.
Yep, you can go pin her down next.
All right, Chip, thanks for your time. Appreciate
You
it.
bet. Thank you, Craig, for all you do.
All right, this is Ed Thompson's daughter, Chris. Now, Chris, you weren't here last year, were you?
No, I actually was in D.C. for the year doing a fellowship.
Okay, bottom line, you've been coming up.
Bottom line, I think this really just symbolizes my dad.
Yes.
He was always about the community. He was always about bringing people together, and he wanted to have fun doing it. I think probably what most people remember about him, it was just this hearty laugh.
Yes.
He had.
Yeah.
It was just so deep and so real and so authentic. So that's what reminds me of this community, and it reminds me of him.
Well, I asked Chip a moment ago, favorite Ed Thompson story. Do you have one for me?
Oh my gosh. There are so many. My dad, I think, loved to be the tough guy. But the funny thing is that although he had that tough external persona, he was in his heart one of the biggest babies when it came to movies. And I remember he talked about how he just, even like movies like Lassie and those kinds of things, it just really touched him. And he also had a very soft spot for animals. As you know, he loved Ace.
Yes.
Ace was his best friend at times in his life. It really was. But he just loved everyone. And the thought of this inclusiveness, all that talk that people talk about, that was him. He was just, he believed everybody deserved to be treated with respect.
It's just hard to believe it's been 29 years already.
It's unbelievable.
Now, for people who are not aware of it, you don't live in Wisconsin, do you?
No, I'm actually Kentucky Wildcat. Live in Lexington, Kentucky, and teach. I'm a professor of nursing there, and just. But again, I also, although I bleed blue, I also bleed red, because I have my Wisconsin roots.
Are you still a Packer fan?
I love Packers, of course.
Yes.
A little bit disappointed this year. It's a little bit difficult, but you're through and throughout. You have to be dedicated in good years and bad. So I'm still hopeful there's a chance we can squeak a wild card. So I'm not giving up yet. There's no giving up yet.
So what's your role today? What's your role down here?
Whatever they need me to do.
Okay.
Whatever they need me to do.
Thank you. I know you're very busy like everybody is behind us. Thank you for making time. Thank you for talking with me, and have a safe trip home. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, now this is Ed's other son, Josh Thompson. Josh, a lot of people don't know your background. What's going on for you in 2022?
Well, I now live in California. I'm an attorney out there with Pacific Legal Foundation.
Okay, good point for them, yeah.
And I'm here for the Thanksgiving dinner and to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family.
Well, let me ask you what I asked your sister and brother a moment ago. Favorite Ed Thompson story you can share with us on Thanksgiving?
The ones that come to mind are his love for the Thanksgiving dinner. It was one of the things he was most proud of in his life. He obviously did a lot of things and helped a lot of people around the community, but this one was always at the forefront of his mind, and it meant a lot to him.
So, what brings you back to Tomah today? Just trip on Thanksgiving? What brings you back to Tomah?
Yeah, I brought my whole family, so I now have 3 kids, a 7-year-old girl who's here helping at the Thanksgiving dinner, and my 2 younger boys, and we all came to visit Uncle Chip, and my mother still lives in Sparta, so it's here to visit the family for Thanksgiving.
Tremendous. Hey, I'm glad you're still a Packer fan or not?
Yes, it's been a rough year, but we're holding on strong.
Okay, where do you live in California exactly?
Sacramento.
Sacramento, okay. Hey, thank you so much for talking with me. Welcome back to Tomah. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you, Greg.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you joining us in person. We have a lot of longtime volunteers that we've had here and a lot of new faces. So we're going to try to work together to have everyone fed today. This is our 29th year of being able to do this. We did not skip any years due to COVID or anything else. We've just flipped the script a little bit on how things work. So we want to welcome everyone in. We will start serving our dining floor here shortly. Volunteers, we're going to continue with a few of the to-go orders that we still have. And then once Lorna kind of tells us we're done with that part, we're going to ask you to come through the front line and start serving the front of house. Before you leave, please make sure, if you want to, that you have the opportunity to sit down and have a meal. There is coffee and water and chocolate and white milk over here as well. And then make sure you get a piece of pie if you'd like. Lorna has worked diligently to get close to 200 meals out already this morning for our shut-in population. So it's been a little bit of running around, and we just appreciate everybody kind of being patient while we got everything set here today. We do have people assigned to milk, coffee, and pies. So if that's your job and you have any questions, certainly feel free to see me. But we'll make sure that everybody gets what they need for this morning's meal. I am asking volunteers if you've not been assigned everything. What I do need, and Libby, if I can use you as an example here, and Libby, you're going to state for bowling, right? Congratulations. Let's give everybody a round of applause for Libby. Libby's a longtime volunteer with us. Libby, can I use you as an example? example here. So Libby's going to stand at the end of her table that she's assigned to and hold up how many meals she needs. So if you're a volunteer going through the line, look for somebody standing at the end of that table with their hand up, and that's how many meals that table needs at that time. I'm going to need one person assigned to each table, so if you haven't had a job assigned to you yet, please pick a table so that you can...
Well, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If you would join me for a moment of prayer to give thanks. Heavenly Father, we just want to come before you today to give thanks for all of the blessings that you give us each and every day. Give thanks for all of the hands that prepared these meals, and mostly for the hearts of this community and the people who live in this community to support one another. That is a gift, and we're very grateful for that. And Father God, as we just take a moment today and remember the real gift, the sacrifice in your Son Jesus. And it is him who taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you.
Mike, ironically, they just publicly thanked you, but I know you're very humble, aren't you?
It's a lot of hands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hands helping here. It's not me, it's a lot of hands.
29 years has been going on already, kind of a way to keep the tradition going that Ed started 29 years ago. Different building, same location, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's and probably now needed more than ever. You know, this is where we're hoping we get a lot of people come out. We know that money is tight. We know that food has increased in price. So we're hoping that this is truly a moment of thanks for people to have a little bit of a break from the normal ridiculousness that is going on in our when it comes to trying to feed your families.
Mike, just out of curiosity, with the world we're in right now, were turkeys harder to get than normal?
Yeah, they really were. I know the store has had them, but you know, to prepare, we're anticipating feeding about 500 people. So to feed 500, it's nearly impossible to bake off that many whole turkeys. So we had to go to a turkey breast, it was incredibly ridiculous on trying to acquire them. I've never seen anything like it, Greg.
Mike, thank you again for doing this. Appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Thanks, Greg. Happy Thanksgiving, bud.
Yeah, same to you. These are all the volunteers getting their meals now. You can see it's kind of like an assembly line.
Ready for corn and bun. Corn and bun. Corn and bun. Thank you very much.
And this area back here is for deliveries only. And there are a lot of deliveries. Almost 200 deliveries have already gone out. And it's a little bit after 11 o'clock on Thanksgiving 2022. So lots of deliveries going out as we anticipated. Okay, what's your name?
Julia.
Can you talk a little louder, please?
Julia.
Okay, and you're the pie lady.
Yeah.
Have the pies been going pretty well so far?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, what's your favorite pie? You have one?
Pumpkin pie.
What kind?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Oh, so this might be your favorite right here, huh? Hey, you're going to be pretty busy. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for talking with me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, we're down here in Murray's on Main for the annual 29th pre-Thanksgiving community dinner on Thursday, the 24th of November, obviously Thanksgiving 2022. Bob Honnell, many years, is here providing the music. Bob is no longer with us. But ironically, today is Bob Honnell's birthday as we're down here on the 24th. Bob would have been 93 years old today. nice turnout down here in Murray's on Main for this free community Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday, November 24. That's pretty much going to wrap things up down here. All right, so that's going to wrap it up on this portion of the community update from down here in Murray's on Main for the Ed Thompson Free Community Thanksgiving dinner that started 29 years ago. Very well attended down here at Murray's on Main on this past Thursday, Thanksgiving, November 22. Thank you to everybody that was nice enough to talk with us. We hope you had a great Thanksgiving. You're watching the Hagen Sports Network. All right, as the community update continues, we take you back to last Friday, November 18th. We're down here at Tomah Health, and the next thing you're going to see is a check presentation from the Tomah Health Community Foundation to assist the Second Harvest Food Bank Share Program. That's the next thing you're going to see as the update continues.
I'm Eric Price. I'm the Marketing and Public Relations Director here at Tomah Health. I also am the ex officio of the Tomah Health Community Foundation. I'm not sure if you're aware, but 1 in 13 people in southwestern Wisconsin struggles with food hunger. That's about just over 102,000 people. And in that number, 1 in 8 children struggle with hunger. That's about 35,000. So today, the Tomah Health Community Foundation is helping out and putting healthy food in reach of those struggling families, not only here in the Tomah area, but actually throughout Monroe County. It's formerly known as food stamps. The Food Share Program of Wisconsin allows eligible residents to receive a debit type card that they can then use with those food share benefits that can be used at most grocery stores in our area. That's how they're able to do that. And if you're wondering, Second Harvest told us some information, which I did release in there as well, that here in Monroe County, those food share submissions account for just over $101,000 in food share benefits for residents to purchase the food, and then that accounts for just over 33,000 food share insecure, helps out just over 33,000 residents in the county. So a couple of information stats for you as well. So I'm going to stop talking and let those who are here today talk a little bit more about it. First, to talk about how the foundation is supporting Second Harvest. We have with us today our Community Foundation Vice President, Brian Hirschley. A couple of words, Brian.
Hi, good morning. I just want to, I'm grateful for being here, and especially for meeting Brian and Second Harvest. I'd just like to say it's the generosity of the Tomah community in their support for the foundation, our organization, that is really vital and allows us to give back to people or groups like Second Harvest. Through our fundraising efforts, we're able to invest back into our community, and that is in support of the people who support us and relative to the people that our groups support. So I can only say I wish we had more money to always donate, to give. It's a great organization, and I'm always proud to be here.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brian. And the other Brian with us today is from Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin and their food shared outreach specialist, Brian Larson. Brian, you want to tell us a little bit about how the money will be used?
Sure. First, I appreciate Tomah Health for their generous donation to Second Harvest to for all the recognition that Second Harvest gets. We couldn't do anything without the support of Tomah Health and the Monroe County residents, volunteers that work around here also. One of the things I do is food share outreach, which is comprised of educating and bringing awareness to people in Monroe County and other counties about food share program, and then I also will help them sign up for it. And also, while doing that, I get to hear their stories. And in hearing their stories, I often will find out other needs they may have, and then I'll be able to help connect them to other resources, whether it's healthcare or transportation or whatnot. So, and then Tomah Health, with this donation, will help us to do more of this on the ground here in Monroe County. So, thank you.
Okay, you actually have the check if you want to hand that off.
I do, Brian. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate
Why don't we get a quick photo with the big check, and then we'll let. Let's look right here in the middle for a couple of shots, and then Brian Larson, your side down just a little bit. There you go. Nice. Okay, great. Good. Okay, everybody got some roll on that? Yep. Okay, great.
All right, this is Brian Larson with Second Harvest Food Bank. Brian, you're here at Tomah Health today. They have been giving a check donation to you guys for quite a few years. From a foundation standpoint, what does that mean to you?
Well, it goes to show the support that we have, not just in Tomah, but Monroe County, and how much we really appreciate that support. What it'll do is help me to be on the ground more here in Monroe County. So I'll go out and whether it's to like senior centers, different apartment complexes, different food pantries, different area health centers maybe, to work with people to help bring awareness and education about the food share program in Monroe County.
$3,000 check today, kind of sum up if you can. Where's that money going to go, Brian?
So one of the things it'll go towards is what we call collaterals, so like information sheets that we'll be able to distribute to people. And so in that distribution will also help bring people to drive to our phone lines. We have a phone line set up that we need to help answer questions and help them with food share applications.
Any criteria for the people looking in? Is there any criteria to be a part of your program?
Sure, good question. Yeah, so there's eligibility requirements. You obviously need to be basic things like a Wisconsin resident. But then beyond that, they look at income guidelines, and for example, you have a one-person household. If your income is around $2,200 a month or less, you could very well be eligible for food share. Then once they get that start for the income, they will deduct expenses, like if a person's paying for health insurance premiums, or if they have shelter costs like mortgage or rent, or if they have utility expenses, heat and electricity. All that will be taken into account, and then you'll be eligible, possibly eligible for food share.
Brian, in a typical year, how many families do you probably help?
In a typical year, I will, I would guess probably in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 families.
Well, okay.
It varies, sometimes more so than others, but consistently I would say at least 30, 35 a month.
And Eric talked a little bit at the beginning about the numbers that are out there, the number of people that are affected, hunger. They're kind of scary numbers, aren't they?
They are scary numbers, and I, to be honest with you, the numbers show just almost like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot of hesitation in people to sign up for food share because of whatever reasons they're not aware of it.
Yeah.
Might be a stigma attached to it. Again, I think that that's why we have the food share program, and we go out there and talk to people, is to help bring awareness to people so we can increase those numbers.
So to wrap it up, Brian, what would you say to people looking in right now that say, boy, we should be a part of this, but I don't know if we would qualify? What would you say to them?
I would say be open to looking into it.
Okay.
A person, you're not going to, you might, it's not going to hurt you to try to apply for it because it could really benefit to stretch your budget and bring nutritious food into the household.
To wrap it up, Brian, website where they can go for more info, because we talked about a lot of website that'll kind of break it down for them.
So Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin, Second Harvest Food Bank Madison.org.
Brian, welcome to Tomah. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, we're down here at Tomah Health on a snowy Friday, November 18th. Brian Urshley with the Tomah Health Foundation. We just saw a $3,000 check presentation, the food harvest, and boy, you guys have been supporting this for a long time, haven't you?
We sure have, Greg, we sure have.
Where does the money come from to support programs like Second Harvest, Brian? Where does this money come from?
From the generosity of the local Tomah community through fundraising events that we organize throughout the year.
And there are a lot of people besides yourself that are a part of this foundation, but if we start naming names, we'd leave people out probably, wouldn't we?
Pardon?
There's a lot of people in this foundation besides yourself, but if we started naming names, we'd probably leave somebody out, right?
Yeah, we would definitely leave somebody out. Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to be, and you, as you said, for almost 10 years now you've been a part of the food harvest. Why is it so important to be a part of this organization, Brian?
Second Harvest seems to be really well organized in being able to use their money that we donate in wisely, and they use it locally. It's not going to a faraway place. It's used very local to our community.
And if people are not familiar with Tomah Foundation, you support a lot of different things. What's the main focus of the foundation? Who do you try to support? If we had to sum up who you try to support the most, Brian, who would these people be?
Well, first off, the people within our community.
Correct.
We always stay within our local community, and we are health driven. So we're looking to take care of, or we're looking to fund programs that will directly take care of people. Sometimes it's through education, but as many times it's through food programs or people in need here at the hospital that arrive at the hospital and have no way to get home. Sometimes we're investing in local cardiac arrest equipment for the fire stations or for the different groups. We've given money for breast cancer research. Most always health driven.
Somebody looking in right now and they're saying, hey, I know of an organization, a group that certainly could use the help from you guys. How do we become a part of it? How do they become a part of it if they're saying, hey, we'd like to see if you can help us out financially? How do they make that happen?
I would say contact Eric Price at the hospital,
okay,
and he will bring it to one of our board meetings, and that's where we have a discussion. We might have you come in and ask us directly or tell us about your program that you're interested in us funding. We'd be more than happy to listen.
And if we had to throw a dollar amount out there, Brian, as we wrap it up, it's a pretty impressive dollar amount that you typically will pay out throughout a year, won't you? Besides Second Harvest today. Pretty big dollar amount, isn't it?
It is. We try to keep the fund somewhat self-perpetuating. In other words, we don't want to take too much on any given year so that we can keep moving the program into the future.
And I would think it's got to be a good feeling for you, for Tomah Health, and anybody else on the foundation board. Probably you're never going to meet these people that you're going to touch, but with this $3,000 check today, you're going to touch the lives of a lot of people, Brian. And boy, that's got to be a good feeling.
It's a wonderful feeling. I always wish we had more money to give.
How long have you been involved with the foundation?
This is my 6th year, I think.
Okay, and I would imagine it never gets old, does it?
No, it's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful group.
Yeah.
We're all happy to be on it.
And if people say I need more information, again, as you touched on earlier, Eric Price would be the guy to contact. Who do they go through?
Yeah, Eric Price is a great contact.
Okay, who do we blame all the snow for, Brian? Who do we blame the snow for?
Well, we can't blame Eric for that.
No, okay. Brian Hershey, thank you so much for making time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, so on this portion of the community update, we've been out here at Tomah Health on Friday, November 18th. As you saw the check presentation for the Second Harvest Food Bank Food Share Program, you saw the check presentation, and then I had an opportunity to talk with Brian Larson and Brian Urshley. We hope you enjoyed it here on the update. All right, as the update continues, we're talking with Mike Hansen down here at the Tomah School District offices. Mike, we want to talk about some stuff on your agenda. Last night, Monday, November 21. Very beginning, you have a lot of recognition for a lot of different people, don't you? Talk about this for me.
Exciting, you bet. Can't believe we're here in November already, but a wonderful meeting. We recognize that at all of our meetings, the great things our students and our faculty are doing. Last night was a really powerful meeting. We had several of our fifth graders who took part and were recognized as representatives for the Performing Arts Fair. They all came by with their parents and were recognized for their great work in that, and they all had an opportunity to talk about the different things they did from the different pieces of art or performances that they did. So it was really exciting there. We also heard from the the Tomah High School National Honor Arts Society and the great work that they're doing. Mrs. Winchell came by and some representative students talking about the things that they've been moving forward with, and got to see some of the work that they've done on a presentation they offered. Miss Juliana Scott, she's our Jobs Across for America's Graduates, our JAG program at the high school. She's been recognized by the state of Wisconsin for her work in the JAG program, so we're so honored to have her work with our kids, and very excited for the pathways that the JAG program offers to the high school students. And then we also recognized Miss Amanda Getchen recently at the Wisconsin School Public Relations Association. Tomah School District took away 4 really wonderful awards. The Lighthouse Award is the top award of the evening for a product, and that was our weekly pause. We also had earned awards for Best in Category, the newsletter, The Howl, and also social media work through the Month of the Military Child. So just all awards of excellence there, and Best in Category for the newsletter. So that is absolutely, man, is amazing work in curating those stories and telling our story, but it's our administrators, teachers, faculty, parents, students, everything that they're doing that we put into those pieces really made that happen. So we're so excited to tell our story in those ways, and we look forward to next year. So a really nice recognition section at the meeting on Monday.
One of the things Amanda is a part of is Pause, and we talked about that people periodically get this in the mail.
Yes.
How unique is that for Tomah School District to have that? Do a lot of school districts have that?
No, that particular award was the Lighthouse Award, the Pause. 2 of the 3 judges scored it perfect 30s. Had never happened in the WSRPA. So that's a powerful piece. And she's been with our district, just going to finish her 2nd year, but already asked to speak and present that in roundtable discussions. So it's a great opportunity to network with other public relations professionals in many districts, small and large. So it's great for us to, for her to take what she's been doing to other districts, and then certainly for an opportunity for her to learn. So I drove up there, wonderful conference, and just a great way to tell your story. So yeah, very unique, the Pause. Wonderful to earn that Lighthouse Award.
Also at your school board meeting last night, you had personnel there from Fort McCoy, didn't you?
Yeah, you bet. There's a new post commander, Colonel Messenger, came by and had wonderful words to say to the board, and brought along the Garrison Sergeant Major and other representatives from Fort McCoy activity. So we have a great relationship with Fort McCoy. We are a federally connected school with many of our students being federally connected through the Impact Aid program, active duty component, active guard reserve, etc. So we're honored to serve all of our military families. So a great message there of thanks and ongoing continued opportunity. Many invitations for us to continue to work together on different levels through leadership opportunities, visits out there. Colonel Messenger wants our kids out there and faculty. It's great history of things and a lot of things to do. So we're honored to have him and the team from Fort McCoy there last night.
Should also mention that last week was American Education Week, wasn't it?
You bet, Greg. Absolutely. You know, I made a comment last night. Each and every day, we want to celebrate American Education Week by honoring all of our employees. And American Education Week honors our administrators, everyone in all of our departments, food service, custodial, maintenance, our faculty, substitute teachers, transportation, district office folks, everybody engaged in educating our children, because it absolutely takes all 500 plus of us to do that each and every day. So we had some pieces out in our website, out on the Monroe County Herald, and our food service team was awesome. They had treats at all the buildings for everybody. So what a great way to honor American Education Week, the super job everybody does. And we want to keep that vibe going each and every day for our kids and our families and our patrons.
There was also discussion on the financial update last night. What's that all about?
Right. Michelle Clark put together a wonderful presentation. She has a presentation that's available out on our website. And it talks about school funding formula, an excellent pathway on very few slides, but just puts it in a really nice, organized and presentable fashion on a very complex topic, school funding. So she walked through that, what we're funded on, how much aid we get, and then moved that picture into the potential operational referendum. And our board will now continue that discussion, as they have been actually over the last 5, 6, 7 months here, moving more toward action as we get to the December regular board meetings. So we'll continue to have all of our information out there, and as the board makes their final decision on an operational referendum, we'll be sure to get all that information out too. But we'll look for that at the December regular.
And you also improved your calendars last night, didn't you?
Yes, you bet. The school calendars for 23-24 are out, and they're aligned toward our professional learning community, professional development that we're putting in within the school district. It's a cultural shift in how we move toward adult learning to impact student learning. We have a lot of great things going on with it right now, but next year presents that wonderful opportunity through board action on a ESSER-funded professional development package with Solution Tree professional learning community training district-wide. It's going to be fantastic, and so that really shifted the landscape there. So we also have opportunities for everyone to rest and recharge at different points in the school year, but really highly directed toward professional development and that opportunity to get that in. And we are looking at a little different parent-teacher conference piece for next year. They're all evenings, so our students will attend class during the day. Conferences are in the evening. You know, a long day for our teachers, and really grateful for that. But we absolutely wanted to see if we could have more folks arrive at those parent-teacher conferences if it worked for them by having them in the evenings. And then families will also notice there'll be a one-night, just for the elementary buildings, and then secondary would meet on other dates. So we're changing it up a bit. That's evolving, and so those are the kind of the three big changes within the calendar there. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if there were any changes, having not seen the calendar, and obviously there are, because you just touched on that a moment ago.
Yeah, and one of the impacts of it too, we built in 173 school days, 3 snow days if we get them. This is Wisconsin, one never knows how many you'll get. Yeah. But we, as presented, if we stay above the required minimum hours, the calendar ends May 31st, which is just a little bit new. Normally we'd go about couple 2-3 days into June. But again, it all depends on the weather. If everything moves forward, we start September 1, which is a Friday. We understand it's a one-day week, but it's a great day for any grade level to come in. There's a lot of instruction that can be done in terms of getting ready for that school year. What are the expectations? A lot of deep instruction would happen on that day. We have Labor Day break, and then we're running for the rest of the year. So yeah, just a September 1 to a May 31, pending the weather, a great PD in between, slight changes to parent-teacher conferences, but we're all developing those on the why, focusing on our mission and our vision and our district commitment to adult learning, impacting student learning and having an artifact for our community that they can take a look at and say, hey, great educational opportunities, but also time for us as a family to recharge, rest, and enjoy time together.
You also discussed closed campus last night.
Right. Last night's board meeting, the board did approve closing the high school campus for our freshmen. That piece is also out on our website. Mr. Joyce presented that information. That will go into effect the second semester. So it's not immediate, but we'll have that closed campus for freshmen second semester. Now there is a first semester piece to that, but we won't be impacted by that until next year. So the campus would be closed to freshmen and sophomores. But you can see both the second semester and the first semester impact on our district website, and Mr. Joyce will be sending that information out to our high school parents.
Mike, what did acceptance of gifts and monies look like last night?
Yes, absolutely. Again, we recognize a lot of folks, and we're always honored for wonderful gifts and donations that came in each and every month to support our students and families. The Warren's Cranberry Festival donation to Tomah High School's DECA program, $1,500, and the Tomah Sports Booster donation to the Tomah High School Volleyball Club in the amount of $450, so $1,950 each and every month. They're fantastic, and greatly appreciate the donations of those to support our kids and our students and our faculty.
So as we wrap it up with District Administrator Mike Hanson, Mike, if you want to throw it out there because it's coming up in the near future, if people are interested in being a part of your school board.
Yes.
Something special coming up on December 6th, right?
Greg, yes, thank you so much. We'll have our annual prospective board candidate meeting, and that's held in December. We're having it Tuesday, December 6th at 5:30. Right here at the Tomah School District office. And any patron who's interested in running for the school board, it is a great informational meeting. That's all it is, and we want to walk through what are the state requirements to run for the Board of Education. We'll have some policies, procedures, kind of a district or roll-up informational demographic piece. But what's most exciting is we'll have a couple of board members currently serving, Sue Bloom and Spencer Stevens mentioned they will be at that meeting, so if there are any questions, comments about what it's like to be a board member, they'll be there to answer those. So highly encourage anyone who'd like to be interested to come to the meeting.
So are there seats up for re-election in
Three
April?
seats, yes.
Who are those three?
Mike Genevico,
Okay.
gosh, boy, it escapes me there for a minute. Thanks,
Yeah.
That's a good question. You got me on camera with that. I believe Sue Bloom and Ricky Murray, but I will triple check. We'll be sure to we'll go circle back to this one in December. You got me on a Tuesday morning. Thanks, Greg. All wonderful board members. We thank them for their service, but each and every year we'll have about that 3 open seats there. So thanks for. We'll check back in on that with exactly who.
And as we wrap it up, Mike, I want to give a shout out to Veterans Day.
Yes.
I videotaped the Veterans Day program at the middle school. Very well done. I understand you had a program here at the high school. Kind of a nice way to remember the veterans, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Throughout the school district, we had a lot going on, from our outlying schools, having veterans come in and speak to them, to our events at the middle school, high school, and all the in-town elementaries, all doing really unique opportunities there. And quite frankly, throughout the school year, with a strong area for veterans with our VA, Fort McCoy, active guard and reserve components that are nearby. You know, this Tomah really resonated with me because of the military presence. That's all I grew up with, so very exciting. So you'll see those touch points throughout the school year, certainly on Veterans Day, very important, but throughout the year, and paying respect for and honoring our veterans and the great things that they offered, ensuring we have free and public education.
So people watching this on Thanksgiving weekend, any big plans for you guys or what?
Nope, staying in town for the Hansons, and we just wish everybody a nice, quiet Thanksgiving, time with family. It's a nice break, and I think the weather will be holding here, at least in the area. But then looking back forward to getting everyone back and moving through as we get ready to, close out the first semester almost. It's moving.
Yeah, I've already videotaped 3 grade school concerts this year, and at every concert, every school has said, we haven't done this since 2019, and they haven't. And boy, you think about that, that's kind of scary, but nice to have that back.
Right, yeah, you bet. No, it's wonderful to see everybody back in full swing there.
Mike Hanson, District Administrator, nice enough to talk with us about what went on at their school board meeting last night, Monday, November 21. Mike, I know you're very busy. Thank you for your time. We'll talk to you in December.
You bet. Thanks again, Greg. Have a great day.